In September 2016, a company released a new product. It wasn't a smartphone. It wasn't a revolutionary piece of software. It wasn't even a piece of clothing. It was a brick, a literal rectangular block of clay, identical to the ones you would find at a construction site for about 40 cents. But this brick was different. This brick was sold by the streetwear brand Supreme. They listed it for $30. It sold out in seconds. But that isn't the shocking part. The shocking part is what happened next. Within minutes, that $30 brick was listed on eBay for $1,000. People were fighting, digitally and physically, to own a heavy, useless object simply because the company told them they couldn't have it. This defies every logical law of economics. In a rational market, price is determined by utility and supply. A brick has almost zero utility. The raw materials are dirt cheap. Yet somehow, by manipulating a single variable in the human brain, this company turned a piece of dried mud into a luxury asset. They didn't sell the brick. They sold the panic of not owning the brick. This is not an accident. It is a biological hack. Welcome back to Strategy Unlocked. Today, we are dissecting one of the most powerful and dangerous forces in the global economy. It is called scarcity marketing. You see it every day. You see it when Amazon tells you there are only 3 left in stock. You see it when an airline website shows a countdown timer ticking away next to your seat price. You see it when a luxury brand makes you wait 2 years just for the privilege of buying a handbag. The central mystery we are solving today is this. Standard economic theory says that if supply goes down, price goes up, but demand should drop because the item becomes too expensive. But in scarcity marketing, the opposite happens. When supply is restricted, demand explodes. The harder it is to get, the more we want it. Why? Why does the human brain short-circuit when it hears the words limited edition? To answer this, we have to look at the diamond mines of South Africa. We have to examine a psychological experiment involving a jar of cookies. And we have to decode the algorithm that runs the world's largest travel booking sites. We are going to uncover how companies manufacture fake shortages to bypass your logical reasoning and trigger a primal survival instinct. They aren't just selling you a product. They are selling you the relief from the fear of missing out. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly how this puppet show works. And hopefully, you'll learn how to cut the strings. To understand the global economy, we first have to understand cookies. In 1975, 3 researchers, Wurtzel, Ley, and Edwol, conducted a study that became the foundation of scarcity psychology. They brought participants into a room and gave them a chocolate chip cookie. Group A took a cookie from a jar that was full. It had 10 cookies. Group B took a cookie from a jar that was almost empty. It had only 2 cookies. The cookies were exactly the same. Same recipe, same baker, same freshness. But when asked to rate the value of the cookie, the results were undeniable. The participants rated the cookies from the near-empty jar as more desirable, more valuable, and this is the crazy part, better tasting. Think about that. The perception of scarcity actually altered their sensory experience. The rare cookie tasted better simply because there were fewer of them. This creates the first rule of scarcity marketing. Perceived value is inversely correlated to availability. If everyone can have it, nobody wants it. If nobody can have it, everyone wants it. This triggers a cognitive bias known as loss aversion. Nobel Prize-winning psychologist Daniel Kahneman proved that the pain of losing something is psychologically about twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining something. When you see only 2 left, you aren't thinking about the gain of the product. You are thinking about the loss of the opportunity. The company has successfully shifted your motivation from "do I need this" to "I must not lose this." Now, let's scale this up from cookies to billions of dollars. The greatest trick scarcity marketing ever pulled was convincing the world that diamonds are rare. Here is the truth. Diamonds are not rare. In terms of geology, they are one of the most common gemstones on Earth. In the late 19th century, massive diamond mines were discovered in South Africa. The market was about to be flooded. If the supply hit the market naturally, diamonds would have become as cheap as turquoise or quartz. Enter Cecil Rhodes and the De Beers Consolidated Mines. They understood that if they wanted to sell diamonds at a high price, they had to break the law of supply and demand. So they bought all the mines. By 1902, De Beers controlled 90% of the world's rough diamond production. They created a single channel for diamonds. They stockpiled millions of gems in vaults in London, refusing to sell them. They released them onto the market drop by drop, just enough to meet demand, but never enough to satisfy it. This is artificial scarcity. They combined this controlled supply with a marketing campaign that invented a social rule. A diamond is forever. They linked a socially mandatory event, marriage engagement, to a product that they had a monopoly on. If you didn't buy a diamond, you didn't love your fiancé. And because they controlled the supply, you had to pay whatever price they set. De Beers didn't sell rocks. They sold a limited edition proof of love, even though they had warehouses full of the stuff. Fast forward to the 21st century. The De Beers model has evolved into something faster and more aggressive. Drop culture. No brand embodies this better than Supreme. Supreme is a skate shop. They sell hoodies, t-shirts, and hats. Manufacturing a t-shirt is easy. You can print 1 million of them tomorrow if you want to. But Supreme doesn't do that. Supreme releases new products every Thursday at 11:00 a.m. They call this the drop. They produce very limited quantities. They know exactly how many people want the item, and they deliberately make less than that. If 50,000 people want a hoodie, Supreme makes 5,000. Why leave money on the table? Why not sell 50,000 and make 10 times the profit? Because Supreme understands Veblen goods. A Veblen good is a luxury item where the demand increases as the price increases, because the high price and exclusivity acts as a status signal. If everyone at your school or office has a Supreme hoodie, it becomes worthless as a status symbol. It becomes a uniform. By ensuring 90 of their customers walk away empty-handed, Supreme maintains the cool factor. The frustration of the rejected customers keeps the brand relevant. The line outside the store is the marketing. The people camping overnight are the billboard. They are signaling to the world. This thing is worth suffering for. Finally, we arrive at the most pervasive form of scarcity today. The one that lives in your pocket. Algorithmic scarcity. Open a site like Booking.com or Expedia. Search for a hotel in Paris. What do you say? This is the gamification of anxiety. These platforms use real-time data to trigger a fight or flight response. When you see 15 people are looking at this, your brain interprets those 15 people as competitors. You are now in a race. And then's the killer blow. Only one room left. This creates time scarcity. It forces you to make a decision now. It removes the time you would usually take to compare prices, read reviews, or check other websites. If you stop to think, you might lose the prize. So you click book now, but here is the secret. Only one room left often means only one room left allocated to this specific website at this specific discounted rate. The hotel might have 50 empty rooms. But the algorithm filters the truth to create urgency. They aren't lying technically, but they are curating reality to induce panic. We have seen the cookies, the diamonds, and the hoodies. But here is the aha moment. The secret that ties all of this together. Scarcity marketing works because it hacks our desire for autonomy. Psychologists call this reactance theory. When humans feel that our freedom of choice is being threatened or restricted, we react by trying to regain that freedom. When a product is sold out or limited, it feels like an option is being taken away from us. We don't want the product because of its features. We want it because we want to prove that we can have it. We are fighting to restore our agency. The aha moment is realizing that in a scarcity model, the product is irrelevant. You aren't buying us hoodie to keep you warm. You aren't booking the hotel room because it has the best view. You are buying the relief of anxiety. You are paying to stop the feeling of regret before it even happens. The sold out sign is the ultimate weapon because it validates the winner. If you manage to buy the item, you didn't just spend money. You won. You beat the 15 other people looking at the hotel. You beat the line at the Supreme store. Scarcity turns consumption into a competitive sport. And we are all unwitting athletes. Before we talk about how to defend yourself against these tactics, I have a small request. If this video helped you understand why you bought that thing you didn't need, please hit the like button. It helps the YouTube algorithm, which is its own scarcity machine, show this content to more people. And if you want to unlock more secrets of the business world, subscribe to the channel. We don't have a countdown timer and seats aren't limited, but we'd love to have you. So, what are the implications of living in a world of manufactured scarcity? It means we are constantly living in a state of low-grade emergency. We are rushing through decisions that should be slow and thoughtful. The brilliant and terrifying lesson here is that value is a construct. Value is not inherent in the atoms of the product. It is a story told by the seller. If a company can convince you that something is rare, they can convince you that it is valuable. So the next time you see limited edition, only 2 left, or a countdown timer, pause. Take a breath. Ask yourself, if there were 1,000,000 of these sitting on a shelf and they cost half the price, would I still want it? If the answer is no, put your wallet away. You aren't buying a product. You're just being played. We are insiders' knowledge, and this has been Strategy Unlocked. What is the most ridiculous limited edition item you've ever seen someone buy? Let us know in the comments.